Hi, I'm Kate.
I'm Jamie.
And today we are going to talk about Christmas at Carnton by Tamera Alexander.
Yes. Fun Christmas read right before as we're approaching the holiday season.
So we actually read this alongside our mom and our cousin. And so we just had a little discussion about the book with them. So that was kind of fun to bring somebody else into it.
Yeah. See some other views. Yeah.
So what did you think?
First impression, I was excited because this is set during Civil War time, and obviously Christmas, and it just seemed like it was just going to be more of not a hard read, not intense, but more cozy, and it kind of started off like that, like a widow of a soldier, what she was going to do. She was kind of faced with dilemmas and challenges, and so it was kind of like, is this going to be, it's a love story, or, so. Yeah, my first impression was just I was excited for that part. A little bit of the Civil War history, a little bit of history, but...
And we just finished Gone with the Wind over the summer, and so this was kind of fun to, come back to the Civil War a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of compare it a little bit, see the differences.
Yeah, totally.
And we were noticing that in Gone with the Wind, everyone's hungry. Like, that's a major theme, is just how are they going to provide?
Shortage of food, lack of food, yeah.
And in this one, they have access to a lot of things. And, was that historically accurate, or, was it just because it was a different part of the country, or? Right,
this was set in Tennessee, so not necessarily completely south, kind of in the middle, so maybe they had access to more resources and more food. Yeah, supplies.
So, what else?
So, it starts with her, we realize that she's a widow, and she's got a 6-year-old son, and she's with child. About 6 or 7 months pregnant at this point. Lost her job, gonna lose her home, so gotta figure out, someplace to work.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure was the plight of many of those widows, which makes me think, gosh, all these women were at home mostly, and then they have to, find their way. It's gotta be hard.
I was just, that happened to so many women, and she mentions the main character, Aletta, mentions that she has heard of homes where women and children will stay together and kind of commune together a little bit, have a little, and
take care of each other.
Didn't know that if there was a place like that around where she lived, but I kept thinking that might be where the storyline went later, is maybe her and the captain start one of those homes or something. Like, I wondered if it might not go there.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Or if they decided to have that home at Carnton, that might be
a place like that, like a place of refuge for those women as they're getting back on their feet.
Right.
Yeah, especially finding a job. I was just thinking about this: finding a job when everything is so scarce and there's not much money for people to pay people. So how do you even find work at that point? Yeah.
We really loved that the faith aspect was woven in, and just it was just like
natural.
Just like,
just like talked about God and trusting, and the blessings, and
Did you have any major quotes that you...
No, you had a lot of good ones, so you read yours, because I just hit on the main points mostly.
When she's talking about her husband, wondering how he died, what happened to him, and she says, she prayed his death had been swift, that he'd been surging forward in one breath and then drinking in the breath of heaven in the next. She
didn't want him to suffer. Yeah. Just no suffering. Like it was just happened so quick that you just went, straight to heaven.
I can't imagine, like, would I be desperate to know how my husband died? I just don't know if that would be.
I know, on your mind.
Yeah.
Did they suffer or not? Yeah. I don't know.
But maybe because it was part of the war, you might want to know, like, what was happening. Maybe it was just.
Yeah. I feel like maybe that was just with that, with war. So it makes you think differently.
And she does get that closure of knowing because of Zachary, Mr. Zachary, Emmett
Zachary.
He tells her what was happening at that point.
Yeah. But she never sees her husband's body, so there's always kind of this inkling in the back of her mind, like they never truly identified the body. So is he really gone? And so she does continue to check the papers.
Yeah.
But then that's the unfortunate part. Then you see friends on there, and then you know that these women are dealing with, so that had to have been really hard to read the paper then.
Just every day there was somebody else.
New. Yeah.
I hadn't mentioned this quote before, but she's talking to she's been offered the job at Carnton to
be a chef and a cook. Yeah, to cook and bake.
And she's like, well, I'm not fancy. I'm not a chef. And the lady of the house says, the Lord Jesus is not impressed with outward show, and neither am I, Miss Prescott. Simple but delicious is what will please me. Can you do that?
Yeah. So, I do like that. Yeah, this opportunity just came up on her. She like saw it saw an ad or whatever, and I'm just gonna walk there. Like she takes her little son in the snow, and they're gonna walk up to this place. And first it's like, no, we already have a pastry chef coming, but that doesn't work out. And so then they bring her on and give her room and board, and she's about to lose her house. So it's really a huge blessing.
Well, just see how God provides time after time, just right in His timing, just
right when you need it. Yeah, she had like 2 weeks, I think, to be out of her house, and then this came, and they're like, "Oh, and by the way, you have to stay here." Yeah. Like, oh, bummer. And her son was able to be taught by this woman that lives there at the house that teaches the other little boy that lives there. So
they were just so generous to do all that.
Super nice family. Yeah.
There was another part where they're walking. I can't remember what. She's out with Mrs. Prescott is out with the captain, and he hears like a coo of a dove, and he like looks off to the side, and then he hears it again, and it's somebody's calling to him, like the path is safe or something. And I was kind of confused.
Okay, yeah.
It says, and he found it reassuring to know Confederate brothers were close at hand.
Oh, it's like they made that noise or something
like
when
the soldiers called to each other to let each other know that they were
they were okay.
I got your back.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
That was when they're on their way to town. She's going in to be with Kate Zachary after the newspaper says that
her husband is passed. Yeah, she's really good about like consoling the other women, like just being together and that. Yeah.
So
being that shoulder to cry on.
And just the roller coaster of thinking that Mr. Zachary is her husband's alive, and just
they say that her husband's alive. She goes to the hospital, and she even like he's bandaged up so she can't see, and then he opens his eyes, and she's like, "This is not him." Yeah, I was like, "Whoa." Meantime, she's falling for this other soldier, and you're like, "What is gonna happen?"
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much of the book left, so if that's really her husband, he's got to die like today.
Yeah.
So that this can wrap up.
Right.
There's some parts that we like with Tempe. The slave that stays with the family, just wondering why she didn't leave, and we still don't kind of understand.
Yeah, because the slaves were freed, but she didn't.
Like, did she not want to go?
Yeah.
Or did her family not want her to go?
I felt like that was her family. Like, she just wanted to stay. Like, she'd been there a really long time, like her whole life. Since she was a little bitty. And she's an older woman now, so why start over?
Yeah. She's happy.
They treat her fine.
Care of,
It wasn't a negative situation by any means.
This part.
Oh, yeah.
Mom read about the red bird.
Mm-hmm.
A red bird in winter. When you see a red bird in winter, you'll prosper in spring. But when you hear a red bird sing, your sadness will soon be lifted. Mm-hmm. And they say that's an old wives' tale, and I just want to look that up and see where that came from. Or
yeah, I like those kind of things. Just makes you think.
Anyway, it's just there's parts. Let's see. Oh, at the end they get married.
Mm-hmm.
Aletta and
Captain Winston
get married, and they live in a factory.
Yeah.
And they make prosthetics for soldiers.
Yeah.
And he says, I never would have dreamed, Aletta, that an abandoned factory could feel so much like home.
Mm-hmm.
Neither did I at first. But when Jake shared his dream with me, when he told me the idea that God had put in his heart, I knew this was where we were supposed to be. And I just that was my question was, have you ever had a dream like that you just thought God put like something very specific?
Mm-hmm.
If you have, please comment below.
Yeah,
We'd like to know about that. Like a God-given dream, specific.
And came to fruition. Yeah. In your heart, something in your heart, and then you made it happen, or he helped you make it happen, I guess.
Because I feel like a lot of those stories of people saying that is like, I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever you're asking me to do.
Right. It's like these big things, like go across the world and, leave
the promised land.
And,
whatever.
Right. Abraham and Moses and all these people.
Right.
Yeah. It's true.
I forgot to say, we're drinking Christmas, what is it called?
Christmas spice.
Christmas spice tea from our local tea shop.
So delicious.
And
Yeah.
keeping our little handsies warm inside the mugs.
It's very cold here in our
Cheers.
state right now. Even though it's the beginning of December, it's already really cold.
Fire in the fireplace, and it's a good time to talk about a
Cozy
Christmas book.
books, yes.
I don't like. I feel like it was cozy. I don't know if there was like a ton of Christmas.
Yeah, I mean,
in
it's just the Christmas season. Well, especially when they opened on Christmas Day. It did start at Thanksgiving, kind of, which is nice because we were kind of celebrating Thanksgiving when we started it. And then they went into Christmas, and like the little boy got a train, which is what he had asked his dad for, and his dad had passed away, so it was sweet.
She didn't know she'd be able to provide that.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, we just got little glimpses of that, but yeah.
It's like the perfect story for Christmas time where you just feel like a Hallmark movie.
You just feel warm and like,
fuzzy.
oh, I'm ready to celebrate Christmas. Yeah. And the faith aspect.
But I think a lot of Christmas movies, Christmas books are just like that.
They're light and just, get you in the mood.
Let's hold up we both had a lot of like
little things.
Little quotes and notes, but yours is actually the real text version.
Mm-hmm.
So I've checked out the first book. This is 0.5. This is half number.
It's called a novella.
Yeah. And then this is
a novel.
First book.
Yeah. So this is like part of the series, but this was just kind of like I feel like an overview, just like
Intro,
about the holidays and that sort of time period, and then this goes into the characters, I feel like, deeper.
Yeah. So this one's about the governess that
taught the
is
boys.
In this one. Yeah. So I'm
house.
anxious to see how that one is, and just the historical stuff, because this author actually lives very close to this area, so
nice.
It'd be kind of fun to tour though.
Yeah. Anything with history, we're always into that.
Yeah. So how many stars would you say?
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess I would give it just because it's just a good book.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like this amazing literary work, but it was good, and I wanted to read it, and it kept me reading, and it was interesting enough, and really just relatable writing. Yeah.
It's hard to judge sometimes. I was looking at Goodreads. I meant to tell you this, that the 5 stars on Goodreads, if you hover over them, they actually say like, this was amazing is 5 stars, and then 4 stars is like, I loved it. Okay. And then 3 stars is like, I liked it. Okay. And then it was like, I feel like
liked,
if I put
loved,
those,
and amazing. So I would say loved. Yeah. Like between liked and loved.
Like 4.5. 4.5. I mean, it's hard because some of these ones that we put a 4, we liked less than this one, but I wouldn't say this is like 5, like
amazing, right? So it's like you have to put the book you've read that's like at the epitome, and then kind of judge everything after that.
So I guess I would say 4.5. Yeah. It's not really lacking anything, except I would have maybe liked to know more, but it is a novella.
Right. So then when we know that, then we know that we can read more of other books to get more detail. Yeah. Right. So based on, I guess, knowing it's supposed to be short helps.
Maybe that's the deal.
Yeah.
You come along because I was going to come get me, actually.
We're good? Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No.
So keep on reading, raising, and praising. Till next time. Bye.